Hi, welcome back, my dear student. So on this lecture, what we're going to be doing is starting to build some helper functions that are going to make our code a little bit more nicer to read and our application more reusable, our code more reusable. So let's start with our redirect function here in functions, all right, inside admin folder. So what I want to do here, instead of redirecting here, I'm going to be using this statement, exit. Basically, we are exiting whatever we're doing and we are done with it. Okay, we're not going to return anything. This is more, this is something a little bit more flexible. A lot of people use this instead of the return. Okay, and let me see what else do we need here. We don't need to do anything else there. Let's just go ahead and create another function that we are going to need later on. So I'm just going to call this if it is method, and of course we are going to be passing a method here, but let's just create a default parameter for it. Okay, that way if nothing comes in here, it's null, and it's just, you know, some best practices to do this depending on what you're using it for. So I want to check to see, and this method here, or this function, is going to be something that's going to check for form methods. Okay, um, so a request method like post, get. So let's just say if, let's just build this variable here, and I believe is the name is request. And as you can see, my ID is already helping me pre-fill some of this. And we don't know, we don't want to have to type in this in uppercase all the time. So I'm just gonna use the function str upper, and we're just gonna uppercase everything that comes in, our method, basically. Okay. And if we get that method there, we're just gonna return true, so that way we can use this function in an if statement. We can say if this method is post, we do that. If it's not, then we return false. So that's why we return false, okay? Just to make sure that we use that, the result of this function in an if statement in the other side when we are calling the function, okay? Let's create another method here. I think it's good to have a is logged in method, I mean function. And basically we can do the same thing we did there. We can just make sure that whatever's coming, it's set. Actually, we got to check on the session. And let's just check for the user role. Now you can make this a little more flexible and make it so that way you pass a parameter, and that way you can always check whatever session you want instead of making this in this way, because this way we are only checking for user role. So every time we want to check something in the whole application, we just change it here. This is why I'm making this like this. We just have to come to this function and change that user role here. But if you want to make it so that way when you call the function, you can use whatever you want, then pass a variable or something there, okay? We're going to return true here. And right below here, and let me just take this off. We don't need it now. Again, you don't have to use that. That's just me changing my ID a little bit, just because I got so used to PHP Storm. So let's go, and if you want, you can comment this out, and it's good that you comment your code. Okay. Let's create another one. Let's see. Let's create this one. Let's just call it check if user. This is gonna do two things. It's gonna check if the user is logged in, and it's also going to redirect the user. So check if user is logged in and redirect. I know this is long, but it's actually being very specific, and that's good stuff in programming. So we are going to accept some session here. As a matter of fact, you know what? We can use this function right here in an if statement. So we can say, well, if is logged in, then I want to do something. And what I want to do is redirect to somewhere. And as a matter of fact, let's make this a little more flexible. Let's just pass the redirect location here. So redirect location, just in case you want to use this function for something else. Okay, you want to redirect it somewhere else. So we just pass that there, and that's it. Okay, I think we're done with this helper functions. Okay, just check it out. You know, if anything is not working properly, we will fix it later on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.